The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to the March 2nd, the terrific Thursday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. And let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. And the easiest way to do that is to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I, we're going to go check on the circumstance of these markets. We'll go figure out what those bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I at just past 11 o'clock in the morning. I want you to know I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here. But even more important than that, and that's this, during this next 53 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to pick up that phone. You can dial on in at 877-927-6648. Now, if you can't dial in, but you've got a question, don't stop there. Go ahead and send me an email. Send that to Steve at TFNN.com. And if you'd be kind enough to inside that subject heading to put radio show question. Of course, if you're inside our Tiger's Den, well, then any and every ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on terrific Thursday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. We got a mixed bag out here, much like yesterday. Got choppy market today, much like yesterday, and really for all those same reasons, which we'll review again for you. But right now, you got the Dow up 169, the S&P's off 3, the Nasdaq's down 33, the Russell's off 9, Semitar down 29, the trannies are up 43, gold is off $1, silver's off 22 cents, light sweet crude up 51 pennies, natural gas back in nickel, 30-year Treasury down 28 ticks, printed out at 122.10. The movers in the market out here, Salesforce up 21. The Buckaroonies, that's 12% to the upside. O'Reilly Automotive up 11.50, that's a little over 1%. Viva Systems up 6% or $9. Saya, the moving company, they're up about 7.60, about 3% to the upside. To the downside, Argenix SE is off $22 or 6%. Snowflake down $20 or 12%. Madrigal Pharmaceuticals is off $13 or 5%. Tesla is down 12. That's a 6% move to the downside. So we got some movers and we've got some shakers. Let's begin our day by taking a look at what these markets are doing. Is this a gift? Oh, maybe we're going to have a caller on the line. And we've got Brent in Martinez, California. Hey, Brent, thanks for calling. Thanks for joining us on this early Thursday morning. How are you today?
Oh, I'm doing great, Steve. How are you?
Excellent. Thanks so much for asking. And the ticker symbol that we're going to take a look at is PLTR, Palantir, if I'm not mistaken. Tell the folks what you're doing, how I can best help you.
I heard Dave talking about this the other day. I think somebody maybe had asked about it, and I did like the fact that it was coming into that gap area. It had the big volume with, of course, lighter volume, and it was also the complete run from the low to that high that it made recently. It's done a 618 retracement. This is bar number 8 on the daily, so I just wanted to get your thoughts if there's any TAS levels or other things that make sense, kind of where it's at here.
Excellent. Okay. So we take a look at Palantir. The first question is, are there any task levels to pay attention to? And Brent is exactly right with regard to his full understanding of what Palantir is doing. It did form a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top out there. That's the only thing you left off. That was the high on February 16th. And yesterday will become bar number 8 of a TD9 count. On a daily basis, Brent, the price is well below the bottom of its profile, which is $8.88. I looked on my other system. I don't have a new profile that's attempting to form as we speak. So this is suggesting that you should see a bottom or could see a bottom between today and Monday of next week. We take a look at the weekly chart out here. We do have a consolidation right now with inside its profile, or I should say prices testing support. And that's down at 762. Resistance up at 850. But your focus right now, or should be focused on support, and you'd love to see 762 hold. If it doesn't, meaning we get a close below that on Friday. That could be signaling to move back to 677. And then what that might say is that the low could come on the bar following bar number 9. That's assuming bar number 9 completes, which it likely will, because it would need to just simply close below. This would be tomorrow. It would need to close below $8.03 out there. So no other profile information really to assist you on a monthly time frame. Let me pull over the 30-minute chart before we open up the mic back to Brent. So on a 30-minute basis, I've got a wave number 7 and a Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom pattern. Your resistance level here, the first one is at 797. The next one would be at 810. So we are getting at least a signal of a potential bottom. You'd like to see resistance areas fall to then suggest that bar number 8 might be the bottom. Now, 90% of the time, when you get a successful bar number 8, which it appears that that's what we have now, it'll go on to form that TD9 count pattern out there. So you got a 90% likelihood of a TD9 count bottom forming in Palantir. Brett, what say you after that dissertation?
That's really what I was looking for, Steve. I knew there was going to be some levels because, it has passed through the OUL on the daily, so now that's going to be potential resistance on the way back up, and I figured there was some other levels to be watching. So you provided that. That's essentially what I was looking for. I appreciate it.
Perfect. I love that. Hey, Brent, thanks so much for calling. You have a terrific Thursday, and we'll look forward to speaking to you again soon.
Okay, thank you so much, Steve. Have a great day.
You bet. Brent in Martinez, California. Folks, let's as long as we're on these white background charts, let's just stay here. Let's move over. Take a look, and we're talking about those TD9 counts with Brent. Well, there's a gift that was given to us last night. That move lower out there really solidified everything. When I say solidified everything, we had the Dow Equity Future contract. That's your lower left. Let me just get rid of the consolidation pattern that it has been in. And so you'll see that yesterday was a confirmed bar number 9. The low in this case here came on bar number 9. Today's going to complete that pattern. Now, as Brent had mentioned, once we get that pattern, we should see price move up to its oscillator and change line. So the first target, in this case here, it's real resistance level because price is trading below that, which is support, which is 33,170. So you should expect or anticipate a move inside the Dow to get up to that 33,169. That is now more likely to happen than it was yesterday at 5:59 p.m. And the reason was because what we didn't have inside the NQ was we didn't have a low on the low came in on bar 5, and we needed to see a push lower in order to trigger that bar number or that TD9 count bottom pattern. Well, that's what took place overnight. So we now have a bar number 9 that's going to form today inside of the NQ as long as price closes below 11,997. And we're at 11,908. So for those of you that are bullish, and if you're bearish even, you want to be paying attention to this, because if you're short, this is suggesting that those shorts maybe should be closed out today, tomorrow, something along those lines out there. Here, if we take a look, and so we've got that TD9 count bottom, or we've got that TD9 count pattern in the NQ, but you really have to wait till day's end. If we get a rally and price closes above that 11,997, the count goes away. And we will not have a bottom signal. We would just have a consolidation going on with inside its daily profile. So it's got potential for a bottom. The same thing with regard to the ES Mini. The ES Mini today must close below 39.75.75. If it does that, you'll have a confirmed TD9 count bottom. Dow's already got one. The Russell's in its own little world. There's an A to B equals CD to the downside. That's not completed, but I'll take the 3 out of the 4. The ES, the NQ, and the Dow. Take a look at this NQ chart here. I'll open it up so you can watch it, take a look at it for a few minutes. Look at how the TD9s work for it. We'll be right back.
Currencies, commodities, and bond markets are as important as ever right now with how they're driving the volatility in equity markets across the globe, which is why it's a great time to try out Teddy Kickstad's Tiger Forex Report. Teddy Kickstad breaks down the Forex markets every Monday using his 30-plus years of experience as a trading veteran of futures, Forex, stocks, and options. Teddy releases his weekly Tiger Forex Report every Monday morning with coverage of all the major currency pairs, including the dollar index, the euro dollar, pound dollar, dollar Swiss, dollar yen, as well as many more, and he also has weekly coverage of the crude oil market and the 30-year T-bonds, as they both influence Forex markets tremendously. When you sign up for the Tiger Forex Report, you also gain instant access to Teddy's 60-minute webinar archive he just hosted, Forex Strategies and Fundamentals, What is Behind the Tiger Forex Report. For all the details and to start your 30-day Tiger Forex Report subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Welcome back, folks. So we were taking a look at the U.S. equity future contracts. We're looking at the daily time frame, the TD9 count patterns that have already formed inside the Dow equity future contract and are likely to form for the ES and the NQ. That says prepare for a bounce out there. Now, we're over taking a look at the 30-minute time frame chart. So we're trying to get a feel for what they're communicating to you and I. And right now we can see that the ES mini at 4 o'clock or 7:30 this morning, I should say, formed a TD9 count top. And that high is at 39.4775. Well, that last bar that closed was at 39.5050. So that pattern's been negated, and now what we have is an A to B equals CD to the upside on a 30-minute basis for the ES Mini. So let's go take a look at its price target out here. And I'm just going to be able to give you the 1-to-1 because I'm just taking the 1-to-1 bar out there. If we needed to, we could switch over to my other charts, and I could give you more than that. But right now, the 1-to-1 price projection is about where we're at. So what this says is watch for the next bearish reversal candle to form on a 30-minute basis. That would then generate a Gartley sell pattern, and that should then take price back to support. Support will be a couple different levels. The first will be 39.45, and the next would be about 39.37. If we take a look at the NQ, it too has closed above its TD9 count breakdown threshold level. That's at 11.913. So closed above it at 11, it closed above it at 10:30. We're seeing a bit of a pullback right now, but this is telling us of a potential change in trend. The same thing for the Dow. At the 10:30 hour, price closed above its TD9 count top. This too is setting up an A to B equals CD to the upside. With regard to the Dow, it's probably, well, let's just not say probably. Let's just go find out. Here's your A to B level. Let's move this over to our C point out here. Give me a moment. We'll try to do that. Move this over. Oh, shoot. I got to do this. Got to pull this back just a tad. Give me a moment. I will complete this. Yeah, so it's made the 1-to-1. So, again, the same thing. Watch for a bearish reversal candle. If that forms, that's going to be then your trigger, your signal that price is ready to pull back. The NQ, and the Russell's still the struggling one. Now, when I say struggling one, if the struggling one can close above for 2 consecutive sessions, get close above 1892, that's going to be a positive for the Russell 2000 out there. So that's what's going on short term. That's what's going on the daily time frame. Let's go to our next caller. It is Dee in Bethesda, Maryland. Dee, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding. How are you today?
Thank you so much for taking my call. Good morning. Yeah, can you help me look at AMD? What's
Absolutely.
going on the AMD? I own the AMD.
You own it, okay. And are you in it from is it a long-term position? What is it, a trading position?
Well, I have for a while, but I want to take it off because I'm losing money quite a bit.
Oh, okay. Well, look, at this stage here right now, what we've got AMD doing is it's pulling back into a swing point that formed on February 22nd. And that was as price was moving down there on that day, that specific day, it did volume of about 50 million shares. We have 2 hours of trading in, and this is pulling back and testing that. Right now, it's got 15 million shares. If I multiply that times 3, 1530 gets us up to 45. So it's really pulling back on slightly lighter volume out there. So that's the first thing. The second thing on a daily time frame, price is above the top of its daily profile. That's old resistance that right now is acting as support. So that support level D for you to watch is going to be 77.10. If price closes below 77.10, then that support level will have failed, and it could be telling us about a move back to 75.41 or 73.72. But with the volume being light right now I don't have a bottom pattern out here for AMD. If we did get some type of bullish reversal candle over the next couple of days, that would generate a buy the D point pattern. What I mean by that is, I don't know if you're able to watch this on Tiger TV, but I'm going to draw in the A to B pattern. And we're just going to move that leg, that A to B, over to the C point out there. So after that low, we're looking for the next highest high. That form. So this is made about a 1 to 1.272 A to B equals CD to the downside. What's missing from this to generate a bottom signal for you is a bullish reversal candle. Now, I'm going to suggest to you that you have a stop in place. This has an average daily movement of $3.03. Your stop should be at least 303 times some Fibonacci expansion. Since we're in kind of a choppy market out here, I would use the 1.618 level. So 3.03 times 1.618, I don't know what that is, but it's around $5 or so. So I would have my stop $5 below wherever your pain threshold is. Maybe it's just simply the low from February 22nd. Maybe it's the low of today, but I would have some kind of stop in there. But what I would do is I wouldn't be looking to exit that position today. And the reason is, if you heard the beginning of the show, we are likely to get TD9 count bottom patterns inside the NQ today. And the NASDAQ and the semis are going to move in the same direction. So if, in fact, we do get that TD9 count bottom pattern, then we're likely to see a rally. It may not be tomorrow. It may be on Monday out there. And then if we do, if the NQs are going to move higher, then so too is AMD. And if you're really looking to sell AMD, and a price target to the upside might be the 80, 89-ish area. I don't see any kind of a top on the weekly chart. I don't see any kind of a top on the monthly chart out there, but I understand the pain on the daily, and it doesn't have a bottom signal. So all I can do is say, well, what's going on in the general markets, D? And when I see what's happening with regard to the daily timeframes for the ES, the Y, the Dow Equity Future Contract, and the NASDAQ out there, and knowing that AMD right now is pulling back into a swing point with lighter volume, I'd be more I would likely stay with the trade at this moment. Does that make sense?
Yeah, well, just stay with it right now. That's what you recommend it, right?
I do, but I would also put a stop in place. And that stop, you got to have
today the low, the $5 below today.
That would be fine. Yeah, if you did that. So today's low, I would use 1.618 times $3.03. I don't know what that number is. I'm good with math. I'm not that good off the top of my head. So whatever that number is, then put it below today's low, and because you're already thinking of potentially jettisoning the position. So I'm trying to say, you know what, this really should bounce, and if it doesn't bounce, then there's something wrong. Something else is wrong.
Oh, but about on Monday something.
Yeah, it could be tomorrow. It could actually even start today. But between today and Monday, we should see a nice bounce in the market.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your help. I appreciate that.
I will. That was Dee in Bethesda, Maryland. Folks, I'd love to hear from you as well, 877-927-6648. Let's go to another request, this one from Steve. Steve Wood. Steve Wood, the individual who has assisted us with creating the float float tool. So I'm going to go back to that because that was his first question. We're going to take a look at Tesla. So let's take a look at Steve's turnover float tool. Give me a moment here to change the window, and we'll get to the actual Tesla chart. That would help. We're on AMD right now. Let's get to TSLA. And the reason what Steve was noticing is on the pullback in Tesla that it was testing the bottom of its float turnover channel. And that is actually priced at, Steve. I show the bottom. This is using my eSignal data. I show the bottom of that float channel at 186.01. So just to assist you there. Now, what you'll also notice is right now, price is still holding the bottom of its bullish structured profile. The bottom of that profile is at 187.56. If you see a close below 187.56, most certainly two closes below that, then what that is going to trigger is going to suggest a further move lower. But we'll continue to take a look at Tesla. We get back from this chart. We get back from this chart. We get back from this break. Steve Rhodes with TFNN.
If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my Gold Report. The Gold Report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the Gold Report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the Gold Report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. So when we take a look at Tesla out here, it is passing the B point. That was that swing point that formed out here on February 22nd. Had volume there. It had volume of 191 million shares. Well, 2 hours of trading, we're at 95. So odds favor that this is going to do more volume than on that swing point. But that doesn't mean that this thing is going to head lower. It may head lower. What we can also see is that price is dealing with the support area of that bullish structured profile. And again, that bottom's at 187.56. We're trading just above that. Now, even if price does close below that, all that's going to do is confirm or trigger an A to B equals CD to the downside. Well, the one-to-one price projection area is 185.36. Today's low so far has been 186.01. The next price projection level would be the 1.272 area, Steve-O, and that's at 178.32. You can see the 1.618, 169.37. But right now, nothing is broken inside of Tesla. Price just testing support with some massive volume. If we turn over, though, and take a look at the other chart, the white background charts, we'll do that here momentarily. And just see if there's any other signals. Well, what we'll notice about Tesla, and I think that we covered this here on this show, is that this did form a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top on February 16th. So, price pulling back to support. If that thing holds out there, I'd be careful on shorting Tesla. On a weekly basis, we don't have really anything here to help us out other than we're trading below last week's low. That's a result of this morning's gap down. That's not a bullish sign. And we do see that on a monthly basis, Tesla ran into resistance at the bottom of its profile that existed at that point in time. But there's a new profile in town. That new profile's got resistance up at 229.53, and the bottom of support there is 144.38. So, Steve-O, that's what I see when I take a look at Tesla. One other thing that I can throw out there for you, and that's take a look at the seasonal pattern. So even though I said, hey, don't just jump on the short train just yet, that's because support is holding. We are in an unfavorable seasonal period, or this is over the last 12 years for Tesla, which typically bottoms right around the end of March, third week in March or so, should this pattern kick in. So I hope that helps you out as a full review of Tesla, and thank you so much for the question. I'm going to go back and there was another question that came in. This one is from Matt inside the Tiger's Den. And Matt was asking the question here. He says, can you explain why bar number 9 on a TD9 would have to close below the fourth bar previous as opposed to just lower low to complete the pattern? And Matt, the answer to that is because that's the pattern. The pattern is always take a look at today's close versus the close 4 bars ago. And tomorrow's close against the bar 4 bars, earlier out there. That's just the pattern. And when we have 4 consecutive closes where each close is below the close of the bar 4 bars earlier, can't be equal to, it must be 4. That is just simply the pattern. Now today, and so that pattern would get negated. So that's the rule. You have to have that rule for those 9 bars. So as an example, we're taking a look at the ES Mini right now. It's really the NQ that I'm more concerned about and than I am. So if we take a look at bar number 5's close on the NQ. On the NQ, that close was at 11.923. If price closes at 11.923.01, this TD9 call pattern will go away. Why? Because it doesn't follow the rules out there. So it's just simply a very rules-based system. And if we don't get that close, well then, and that could happen on the ES2, then we do not have any kind of bottom signal. And then the information I provided to D, would be really helpful because she's going to put a stop in place here. And because this would not have a bottom. And in fact, that could be saying that we're headed much lower out there. So, it's not about just making a lower low or anything like that. It's just simply for those 9 bars, we follow a certain set of rules out there. And also, as part of those rules, are that bars 8, 9, or the bar following 9 has to either be the low of the pattern or the high of the pattern for a top out there. So I hope that helped answer that question for you. Matt, thanks so much for it, and I'm sure that you helped others out by asking that question. Let's go to the next request out here. This is coming in from Alton. Let's see what Alton was looking for. He wanted to take a look at FXI. Good morning, Steve. If you could, I'd like your thoughts on FXI for a possible entry point. Thanks and enjoy Thirsty Thursday out there. You bet. So if we take a look at FXI, out here, let's pull this back. This is one of those Chinese ETFs. It does have a confirmed by the D point pattern. So the A to B equals CD was completed. It completed a couple days, yesterday that is, when we gapped to the upside. Now what price is doing here in FXI, so you've got that bottom. That was yesterday's gap. Price is above its red oscillator and change line and is getting back inside its profile. Now that profile, bottom low is at 28.79. I'm sorry. It's getting above. So if it closes above the center of its bullish structured profile, that is 29.36. So any close above 29.36, preferably not 29.37, but any close above 29.36 is going to suggest that FXI should run up to 30.34. Likewise, if price closes today back below 29.30. Let me see if that's a good number to give to you. 29. Yeah, I'm going to use 29.30. If price closed below 29.30, what FXI is telling you is it's getting ready to go back and test those lows from just a few days ago. So that's going to be a real key level for you to watch today. You're asking for an entry point. If I knew which way price was going to close alongside that oscillator and change line, I could say either right now or, boy, you got to wait. You could be too early on that. So I think at this stage here, we have to have some patience. If we look to the 30-minute time frame chart, we can see that this has confirmed a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top, and it did that at 11 o'clock. So we're in the 11:30 bar right now. If price closes above 29.59, that's going to tell you that it's negated that pattern and it's going to move higher. Now it's going to trigger or likely trigger another Rhodes Momentum Indicator signal, but that's not a top necessarily. That needs a bearish reversal candle, just as this one here had formed. So watch that high. Now on a pullback here, price may only pull back to 29.29. If it does that, rejects that and moves higher, that is also a bullish signal. So 29.29 could be an entry point. The problem with 29.29, if there is a problem, is the fact that that would then get us below that 29.30 area. So on a weekly basis, what's the weekly chart telling us? Hey, we're back above its red oscillator and change line, likely going to go target 30.36 before it runs into resistance. Monthly chart, just a consolidation with inside its profiles. So now this will become or could become day number 2 of a higher close. So what's that going to mean for FXI? Well, if we take a look at it, this could be today, could just be that knee-jerk reaction. You can see that typically we see 2-bar moves to the upside. Here's a 3-bar move. Those are consecutive closes above the prior close out there. So with regard to FXI, I'm going to suggest that you be patient based upon all of this that we just took a look at. And so I do hope that that helps you out. Alton, and thank you so much for writing in. And you have a terrific Thirsty Thursday as well. The next question coming from inside the Tiger's Den, and it's Dano. And Dano wants to take a look at KZIA. KZIA is, I have no idea, but we're going to find out. It is KZIA Therapeutics. KZIA Therapeutics is negating a TD9 count on the daily time frame, and it's forming an A to B equals CD to the upside. So as long as it closes above 105 and you're at 114 today, it's going to do just that. Now the volume on that TD9 count bar, which is the B point of an A to B equals CD, did volume of 187,000. You're at 73,000 so far today. So it's really got the chance to take that out with volume. Whether it takes it out with volume or it doesn't mean that it still can't form an A to B equals CD to the upside. So we just simply take a look at our A to B line out there, which is really going to be this candle right there. I think that's the higher high. And then we just simply are going to go ahead and move that over to the C point. Get it pretty close. There we go, just pretty close to it. Now I got to move this over here. So Dano, what this is signaling to you and I is this wants to make a move into the 138 area. Turns out at 132, you've got weekly TD9 count breakdown resistance, and at 226, you've got profile resistance on a monthly time frame. KZIA Therapeutics, headed higher. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. Let's get to, we got a couple more questions in the queue out here. Let's get to those. This next one coming in from Mike. I believe this is from the Tigers. They wanted to take a look at the UNG. Those are the charts that you're taking a look at on my screen out here. And as Mike knows, we're going to go take a look at the natural gas charts. But I'll give you UNG. What UNG is telling you is it's bullish out here. It's bullish because price is above the top of its daily profile. It's kind of like a change in trend signal. On the UNG, your next level of resistance, your next battle at this moment is at 1108. That is a TD9 count breakdown resistance area out there. On a weekly basis, got a TD9 count bottom. That suggests price should go target 1034. So you got 1034 to 1108 is your upside inside the UNG with regard to resistance. But are those levels going to matter? I say no. Why, Stevie, say no? Because it's all going to be about what the underlying instrument does, and that is the natural gas contract. In this case here, I haven't looked at UNG recently, but I believe it may have only the April contract. But we do need to take a look at that because it could have April and May. But right now, with regard to the April contract, on a monthly basis out here, what we don't have is any kind of a bottom pattern. We do have a signal of a bottom, which is a bullish hammer candle. So as long as price stays above last month's low out there, which, by the way, that low is down at the 211 area, then maybe there's a bit of a bottom. Well, the weekly says, I don't know what you're talking about, maybe, Steve-O. I've got a TD9 count bottom, and I'm going to go target 309. So the area, if you're long UNG, you want to watch how natural gas deals with the 309 area. If we take a look at the daily time frame chart, here is a Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom. This was a key reversal bar. Key reversal bar is where price gets below the prior bar's low and above the prior bar's high, and a key reversal bar just simply has to close one tick in the opposite direction. Well, it did more than just that. So you've got a nice Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom, a nice buy the D point bottom out here, and price above the top of its daily profile. Now, this is going to be, as far as on a daily basis out here, this is going to potentially be, well, we have had at least 6 bars to the upside. Even though it says bar number 4 here on the daily time frame, that's still 6 consecutive higher closes. Here, let me show you what I mean so I don't confuse you too much. So this set of charts here just looks at the consecutive higher closes and consecutive lower closes. You'll see out here that we haven't had a string of 6 daily bars to the upside since, takes us back quite a while out here. Last time we saw something like that might have been, let me pull this, what the heck happened? Pull this down. We had actually 7 consecutive bar closes. That took us into June of 2022. So it's the first time we've seen that in the last 9 months out here. So ideally, what natural gas will do, it will pull back after doing just that. We'll have maybe a 2-day pullback out here. The area of support, well, you've got the top of that daily profile, so that's at 270. Now, the ultimate buy into UNG would be if natural gas could pull back to the center of its bearish structure daily profile. That would be at 252. We don't have any kind of sign or signal that that's what's going to unfold out here, but that would be a nice thing. So with regard to the UNG, longer term, this is looking like it wants to move higher. You know that we've had now, at least with regard to the contract, 6 consecutive higher sessions out there. If we see a couple of day pullback out there, that does not signal it's time to jettison the position or that it has topped. Not that it couldn't, but that would not really be the signal, at least not at this moment. So that's the review of natural gas and the UNG. And Mike, inside the Tigers Den, I hope that provided you with the information you were looking for. If not, please let me know, and I'll try to get to that as well. Next question coming in from Hector and Patty. Let me close down this panel, just frees up a little bit of resources that I use out here. And we'll get over to the chart here for NVIDIA, which is what Hector is calling about, so or writing in about. So let's actually read the question now and see what Hector needs. Hey, Steve-O, happy Thirsty Thursday. That's 2 of us out there. NVIDIA, AB equals CD up on a weekly basis, utilizing October 9th as the A point. Does it still have legs, or is it time to bail? So with regard to NVIDIA, the A to B equals CD pattern that you're using is down here at October 14th. You know what I'll do is I'll switch over to the black background set of charts to draw on the A to B equals CD pattern. So let's do that. You're asking, your question was, on a weekly basis, with regard to the A to B equals CD pattern, has it topped? And the answer there is no. But I'll still draw on the A to B equals CD pattern. Why is it no, Steve-O? Well, assuming that the one-to-one completed, which I believe that it did, it generated a bearish shooting star candle right here the week of February 10th. Now, that high was 230.20, and last week closed 232.86. That pattern got negated. You would need a new bearish reversal candle in NVIDIA on a weekly basis to confirm another sell to D point. So want to just make sure that we could clarify that, where you can see the candle formation here. With regard to the daily time frame, you've got a nice Rhodes Momentum Indicator top that is out here, but price remains above the top of its daily profile. So what that does for us is this generates kind of a neutral, it generates a neutral signal inside of NVIDIA. Now, if price were to close below 223.38, different story. It would be back inside its profile sector, and that would then suggest that price might run to the 206.34 to the 213 area out there. But that is not what we have. What we have is a sign of a top, price pulling back into an area where it had gapped up. The volume on that gap up day was 111 million shares. Today so far, in a couple hours plus of trading, you're at 14 million. 14 million pulling back, and it was moving higher with 111 million shares, and it's above the top of its profile. It still looks pretty strong to me. That's NVIDIA. If we take a look at the 30-minute time frame, what has NVIDIA done? Well, it confirmed a Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom pattern, but price just consolidating with inside that 30-minute profile. So from a bullish standpoint, you want to see price close above 228.03. From a bearish standpoint, you would like to see price close below 224.32 out there. Lastly, with regard to NVIDIA, we can go take a look at this, and I don't have any other requests that I know of just yet. We can go take a look at our SeasonX tool out here, type in NVIDIA, see if we've got any kind of assistance here with regard to its seasonal pattern. So let's try that one more time, Stevie. NVIDIA pops something up. There we go. And let's see, how many years of data do we have? We've got 24 years worth of data out here. And actually, NVIDIA says it's supposed to be making a bottom right about now. In fact, a bottom right about now, or certainly by March 6th. Today is March the 2nd. So within the next few days or so, from a seasonal standpoint, NVIDIA should form a bottom and then move higher, or it has, at least historically over the last 24 years, has moved higher into the first week of June out there. So Hector and Patty, I hope that helps. Oh, wait, Stevie, you didn't go take a look at the A to B equals CD pattern. Well, I always like to do what I say I'm going to do, plus more. So let's go take a look at that black background set of charts out there. Let's punch up NVIDIA, and let's take a look at the A to B equals CD pattern. So we've got NVDA as a ticker symbol. Let's take a look at the weekly chart. So here, I already have it drawn in there. I must have done a request for someone else a while back. So here, if we take a look at, you can see the A to B equals CD. Price right now getting up to the 1.272 level. But again, you need a new bearish reversal candle on a weekly basis to form a sell the D point pattern. Short of that, what this is telling you is price wants to go target the 1.618 expansion area. That's up at 267. Now, because we know it's got a Rhodes momentum indicator top, that will not take place until you see a close above 238.88. So Hector and Patty, thanks so much for writing in. I hope that helps you out. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back to close out the show.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Everything in the universe is governed by the Fibonacci sequence. This mathematical principle is responsible for everything from the most aesthetically pleasing artwork to patterns in the stock market. To stay on top of stock patterns you can take advantage of, sign up for the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter at TFNN.com. When you subscribe, you'll get a weekly report from veteran day trader Larry Pesavento on stocks you need to pay attention to. And you can trust Larry's analysis. After all, he's got 45 years experience as a day trader. Larry will also provide daily charts, videos, and data on the key markets that he's tracking. Expect notifications from Larry on market movement you need to act on at any time. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. Subscribe to the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter today. TFNN.com, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. So, again, today for the ES Mini to form a TD9 count bottom pattern, price must close a day below 39.75.75. I have no idea whether we'll do that or not. It looks pretty good right now. The NQ must close below 11.997. Looks like it will, but I won't know until the session ends inside the NQs out there. Those are the parameters. I have no idea where it's going to close, but if we do get TD9 count bottoms out there, we're likely to see a bottom that formed between today and tomorrow. What did I want to do next? So there was a next question. Can I take a look at light sweet crude real quickly? And I can. We'll take that up. Light sweet crude is very likely targeting the 79.24 level. So I've got two different sets of profiles with regard to light sweet crude. Right now, price is taking on the 78.03 area. That's the top of the profile coming from the white background set of charts. The black background set of charts have a target of 79.24. So if price closes above the 78.03 area, very likely light sweet crude headed to 79.24. 79.24. So I hope that helps everybody out. Let's do this here. Let's take just a moment, take a look and see what's going on inside the ETFs and the sectors out there, because we have a number of TD9 count bottoms, as you can imagine, to go along with what's going on inside of the ES Mini. So to start with here, we can take a look at, let's see, you got the XLK, no TD9 count bottom, but we do have price that is trading with inside its daily profile, bullish structured profile. The XLV healthcare sector confirmed a TD9 count pattern yesterday. It's completing that pattern today. Price should move up to about 128.61. The XLC, you're going to get a TD9 count bottom pattern today. It'll complete tomorrow. That should take price up towards 54.92. Let's switch panels, go over to the other sectors inside the S&P 500. We'll do that here. We should be able to get this in. Change windows. Pop it up. There we go. We take a look at the XLE, just consolidating inside its daily profile. The XLU, utility sector, still needs a drive lower below the price point of 63.63. Needs to do that today, tomorrow, or on Monday to potentially generate a TD9 count bottom pattern there. The real estate sector is going to complete a TD9 count bottom pattern today and should move up towards that 38.82 level. So, folks, that's it. Hey, tomorrow I'm going to be recording the show at the normal time, and that's between 11 and 12. So we'll see you then. Have a terrific Thursday, and I'll see you on Fantastic Friday. Take care, folks.